to another episode of the Women Can Do Show, where we talk not about what's trending, but what's purposeful. And today I usually have one guest. Today I have two very important guests with me because we're going to have the conversation about perimenopause and menopause. So many women want to hear more about this, want to understand more about this. And because we are intentional about having these real conversations, I decided to bring on two special guests. So one guest we've already had before, Dr. Angela Bodie. I'm sure our viewers remember her episode. It was very powerful. So Dr. Bodie, thank you for joining us again. And we have our new special guest, Dr. Cristal Lynch, who is an OBGYN, because I wanted to make sure that I had an expert on here to talk about this conversation and answer questions that I've seen that people generally have. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I am excited to have you. So before I get started, I always let my guests share. Just share briefly who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, my name's Cristal Lynch, like you said, and I'm 64 years old. I've been operating and working in Torrance for 34 years as an OBGYN there. Yeah. And so, like I was just sharing with Angela, I've delivered babies for 37 years until 3 years ago when I stopped. Well, 4 years. Then 3 years ago, I stopped delivering babies, so now I could focus on mature women's health, some teen health, sexual health concerns, things like that, and then have more time for myself too. So that's where I'm from, Ohio. My dad's a preacher, pastor of a church, and growing up there, everybody expects you to give back and perform service for the community. So that's kind of where it comes from for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So what inspired you to become an OBGYN? Like what prompted you to choose women's health as... Well,
I started out I didn't start out with wanting to do that. I started out wanting to be a writer.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So I went to college with the intention of being a doctor, because basically people tell you that when you do well in school, in high school, go doctor, lawyer, something, right? So I went for that, and I did the pre-med sciences, but I had studied Latin for like 5 years, and I loved reading, books, all literature and everything. So I got my degrees in English, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my bachelor's degrees in English. So when I got out and I went back home and decided, I would try to write for the local newspaper, I didn't get a job. So I was cocktail waitress, and I was selling lawn care on the phone, telemarketing, bank teller, you name it. But then I got a part-time job at a clinic for women. And then was the key. I got that job and would just communion with women, from all walks of life, all day long, day in, day out, on the weekends. And I realized that this is where I felt like I belonged there, and where I could really do some good, and I enjoyed it. So that's when I decided, okay, I had gotten into med school. I deferred it for a year while I was trying to be a writer, and then I said, no, I got to go to med school. So then I left. Wow. And that's how I decided, Wow. Yeah.
That is interesting. From a writer to
Exactly. So it's interesting now, because now that I've slowed down some, I think I'll be able to do medical writing. And so that's one of the things I want to try to start to do now.
Okay. I was going to ask you, had you thought about writing writing a book?
Loving to read books and all that, and loving the words and literature and stuff, so different from actually sitting down and writing something out. I never really tried to write a book. I was trying to more like journalistic type stuff. Oh, got it. Right. But yeah, I still like words and I still like to read, but I realized I'm here. I'm where I'm supposed to be.
You're where you're supposed to be. You are where you're supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, at I Can Do, we use Wednesdays as I always tell everybody, Wednesday is our day to take a pause. And Wednesday is the day that our show airs. So today we're taking that pause to talk about perimenopause.
Okay, very good.
And I had Dr. Angela on before, and we were about to dive into it, and then we're like, okay, that's another show. That's another show. And I told her, like, okay, you got to come back. You got to come back for this episode. And so I thank you because she's the one who introduced me to you. So I was, because I was adamant about it. I'm like, I need. This is what I told her. I said, this is what I need.
Yes, it's a big deal right now.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And so just FYI, I'm in perimenopause right now.
Okay.
So that's why this
congratulations.
episode is so important to me.
We will say. Yes. This is not a bad thing.
So for our viewers, I know what it is because I'm in it. I didn't know what it was when I got it, and that's kind of what I want to. But anyway, what is, for our viewers who may not know, what is perimenopause?
Perimenopause is basically menopausal transition zone. So there's early and then late menopausal transition. The menopause itself is when you have had no menstrual period for 12 months.
Yeah.
So any sort of derangement, irregularity in the bleeding, that is a depletion of follicles. You're born with about 250,000 follicles or so. And over time, even before you start to menstruate, you're losing follicles in the ovary every month. The follicles make the hormones. So, and when you run out completely, you're in menopause. But during perimenopause, follicles have depleted, and so you start to see changes. People have some, not consistently, maybe some night sweats, some hot flashes, or they'll have irregularity in the period where you're 7 days off, or maybe 2 weeks late, or two periods in 1 month, things like that. When you get to the point where it's over 60 days or 90 days and there's no period, then that would be the late perimenopause. So the whole duration of getting into the menopause, it varies, but on average, we're 3 to 6 years of perimenopause. There's even some data that it can be up to 12 years of actually transitioning. So it's like a journey that you're on, but necessary one, because don't necessarily want to be menstruating for life and all of that. So those are, and so the common symptoms, really what people usually come in for, not so the night sweats and the hot flashes, not in the early but the late perimenopause for sure. And then they also come in for things like just not feeling like themselves. They don't feel like they're the same person, but they can't quite put a finger on it. They complain of a lot of hair thinning and body composition change, where they're having the same habits but can't quite, really get back to themselves and what they're used to. And then the vaginal dryness and those things are usually a little bit later. Yeah. But the weight gain, the mood swing, the volatility. Some people are sad, depressed, and some people are really quick to anger, and they don't understand what's going on. So it's a little uncomfortable period of time where you need certain different types of support. Like she probably with the therapeutic for the psyche. And it could be a good time to intervene too with different. We have medications, lifestyle modifications, things like that.
Because I know with me, I didn't know what it was. So I'm dating it back. I'm going to say 2020 because that's when it was everything you name. I started like not feeling like myself, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I've always I've worked out, right? And so during this time, I'm working out, but I'm seeing no results. And I'm like, what is going on with me? And the hair thinning, I had that. I've always had a head full of big hair. And so I thought that I was depressed. I literally was like, oh, I must be depressed. We had like in 2000, between 2017 and 2018, we had 3 close people die in our family, like back to back. So I'm thinking like, oh, I'm still, going through that.
Right.
2020, we had another tragic death in our family. So I'm thinking it's a combination. Kobe, that broke me. But anyway, I'm thinking it's a combination of all of these things. And I'm like, okay, that's what it is. I'm depressed. So I'm going to go get these chips. I'm going to go buy this box of chips
Okay.
and I'm going to just eat this. And I would go, I'll never forget, I would go around the corner of the store and get the 12, whatever pack. And I'm
variety
not, and it's not, I'm not the person that eats chips every day,
Right.
you know? And so it's like, I'm eating. And so I'm like, because I have already said in my mind, okay, I'm depressed, so this is okay. I'm going to just eat.
Right.
Not thinking that's why the weight.
Yes, yes.
Because and so it didn't until 2 years ago. My goddaughter is a wellness coach, Jatier. So I'm like, okay, I need your help because I don't like this and I got to get back on track. And so it was me starting to exercising, getting back to my normal meal plan, but it was her kind of cranking up my workout, like adding weights to it.
Well, this is the thing, that strength training for menopause in terms of maintaining is so key.
Yes.
You know, if you've seen those women who are
I'm
70,
telling
80,
you.
90, and they are pull-ups and whatnot.
Yep.
So one of the things we focus on is the exercise piece, is the strength training, you know, and of course the food piece of the getting rid of the simple carbs and everything, but with the strength training, increasing the protein intake.
Yes, that too. I get that. Yeah.
30% of the calories, just make them in protein and really lift, but start resistance bands, but then start heavy, you know,
Yeah.
even lift heavy. So,
Oh, no.
because the body composition changes, the estrogen goes down, the cortisol goes up, the weight goes around the middle, and the problem is that it's not just the fat underneath the skin, it's the fat coating your organs, your heart, your bowel, that visceral fat, and this is increasing risk for diabetes, high blood pressure, heart, cardiovascular disease. So all these things, all these are motivations for making those modifications, not just how you look, because that's important too, or how you feel, but functionality. I like to focus on, like, you got to be able to bring down your heavy pots, you know, lift up something, your groceries, you know, climb the stairs in your house. It's functional living, you know? Yeah. So that is a big piece, but it is also a huge concern for the women. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. No, that was, and I'm glad you said that because that was just yesterday I was talking to somebody. I said, I think it was my workout that fought against the perimenopause. Once I realized that's what it was. Once I went to the doctor and they're like, oh, and I'm like, all this time, I'm literally labeling this as this, and it's not, because I didn't know about period. I had no idea.
That
you know, you hear
happened to me
menopause,
too.
but a lot of people don't talk about perimenopause.
And
so
it's
I
a long time.
Oh my gosh.
It's a long transition.
But you know what? Okay, so this is a question I had. I'm 54.
Right.
Isn't that late?
Well, you are, average age of menopause is 51. Average age of menopause, average. So
I thought it was. I always thought it was 40s.
You know, so 45 to 55 is like you could be menopausal. Earlier than 45, it's premature ovarian failure. So 51 is average. So you're figuring you actually did well, you know, to get out to 44. I was fully menopausal by 49. Just
wow.
done.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Most people I hear, they'll say they went through it in their 40s. So I'm thinking like, wait, I'm 54,
Maybe
I'm late. I'm not even in full.
No, so late would be like beyond 55. Some people 56, rarely a 57, but then you start to wonder, what's going on here? You know, like especially if they're bleeding, you start to wonder about cancer or something. Yeah.
Dr. Lynch, is that dependent upon your family history as well, right? Your mom and your grandmother, you always ask when they started, if they had some type of knowledge about it. Yeah.
That's right.
And I believe my mom was in her 40s. I know I asked her before. Yeah, so that's why I was like, why am I?
Well, we don't always put the pieces together. You know, you hear about it and talk about it a lot, but you know, even me, this is my business, you know, but I didn't have a uterus. I had a hysterectomy, so I wasn't menstruating. So I didn't put it together. Why am I upset? Why am I throw the remote control at my son? Why am I, you know, and I wake up with night sweat and just throw the towel down and go back to sleep.
My gosh.
You got to put the pieces together. And finally, one day, my office girls are like, okay, so I drew my blood, and that's when I thought, why didn't I think about that? Right? Because your life's busyness, yada yada. You don't think about it as much, but but I have to say, I don't know. Maybe you're going to get to it, but hormones really help. So yes, they do. And that's the whole.
That was my next question about the HRT.
Well, the HRT is just a godsend in terms of maintenance of lifestyle maintenance, maybe not so much, and a lot of preventative things too. So if you get in on the hormone replacement within the first 10 years of menopause, then you reap the most benefit. If you wait until your 70s and say, oh, I think I want to start now, I mean, it's not that you can't, but the benefit is early. So, so in the prevention of osteoporosis, there's heart disease prevention. There's cardiovascular disease prevention. There's the prevention of dementia, which is really key. There's some studies about even helping out in preventing Alzheimer's, though these are preliminary studies, because there's prevention of colon cancer and overactive bladder and vaginal dryness.
Interesting.
So, because there's estrogen receptors all over your whole body, brain, heart, colon, bladder, vagina, bone, everywhere.
Wow.
I know that.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Wow.
It is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I have to look.
So this is a question I had about the whole myth. So I saw a social media post and it said, is menopause really the end of vitality or femininity?
Oh.
Do you? And I know you get that question from your patients. I know.
I get that. I get that a lot, because they don't feel. So the vitality one is an easy one, I think, because that all has to do with life-giving, and what is that? So like this motility we're talking about and mobility, right? This is key. You have to keep moving. Okay, so, and being obese or overweight can increase, there's inflammatory markers that are released by the actual adipose fatty tissue itself. And these put you at risk for the diabetes and the heart disease. So, and obesity can also affect your self-image, where you don't want to get naked or have intercourse with your partner or whatever. And so a lot of our sense of femininity, which is a construct, right? Of
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's so we're always still women, even if our organs are out, we're still women. But the idea of being feminine, as in what attributes you ascribe to a female person, are we have to broaden, first of all, because there's lots of women who are still vital and doing stuff out there, and maybe they're not typically feminine. But what they wonder is, am I still sexy? Am I still alluring? Am I attractive? Am I interesting? And my thing is that you can always be that if you make yourself that. Like they say, if you are interesting, if you're interested, right? Are you a lifelong learner? Do you work out? Do you take care of yourself? Are you curious about other people and other things, All of this is how you maintain vitality. And like socialization. Look at the blue zones. Those people in the blue zones.
Loma Linda is one of the area.
Sardinia. The whole key is coming together. So I think this is how we manufacture it all in. And then we have lots of medications, and there's lots of hormones and medications, supplements, all kind of whatnot to help. But it's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
It has to start from within.
Yeah,
and you have to want to do it, like you said, recreate yourself.
That's I was just about to direct that question. Ask you to chime in on that, the whole, because as you're talking, that's what I'm thinking. It's mine, because with me, it was me having to shift my mindset. Like literally, my wellness coach talking to me like, no, that's not it. That's an excuse. Let's try this the way that I'm telling you. And when it was her really talking me through this and shifting my mindset, getting that negative out of my, throwing that in the trash and shifting my mindset. Like, no, you actually can lift the weight. You can, you can do more weights than that. And it wasn't I'm glad you mentioned the strength training, because that was it.
It's huge.
It's totally that I am a witness that I'm proof that was it. But to Dr. Angela, what are your thoughts on that?
The same. I mean, Dr. Lynch really said it all, but I really like that she mentioned just recreating yourself and seeing yourself in a different model, not going along with the social construct. Because if we go along with the social construct, we can be in trouble with that, right?
Yeah.
So as we get older, I'm 58, since we're saying our age.
Right.
I'm 58, and I'm looking at my
And
face.
fabulous, honey.
No, I'm 58. She knows, Dr. Lynch knows. I may not look 58, seriously, but my body is 58. I can tell the difference. But if I give in to my body and I say, okay, 58 means this.
Right.
So that means I'm supposed to have a little walking cane. I work with patients and they may have walking canes. I'm not supposed to be able to do this. I'm not supposed to dress like this.
Yep.
No, I define my own way of being because I'm in charge of my own self-care, my own self-esteem, correct?
Exactly. Yes,
So I
I
think
like
you
it.
should stay in that lane. And that's very important. We see patients, again, with self-esteem issues, even prior to perimenopause. So when this hits, it exacerbates everything, right?
Exactly.
The depression comes, the anxiety comes, the anger comes, the irritability comes. So we really have to work on it before that. So that's why I like this show. I really appreciate this.
Because, and again, like I said, because I'm in it, and everything you mentioned, I went through everything that you mentioned. But again, I'm like, okay, I'm not about to succumb to this. Like, this is not my identity. Like, this is not like, I'm 54, but I'm 45. You know, I tell people that lately. Like, here, you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not about to, because
and even
I remember someone
telling
me, I remember someone telling me, like, oh, you're older now, so you may not be able to get back to the size you were. Are you kidding me?
What?
That was a challenge for me, of course. But I'm just saying, like, it's the mindset.
It's a mindset.
It's all.
And it's the talk we've heard from our parents, right? Our family members, our mom, maybe they weren't in the same situation we were in, where they were able to get to the gym or able to exercise or able to socialize.
That's
so
true.
you hear that, right? One of the doctors I work with, they call it street talk. We hear the street talk and we believe the street talk, but we know that things are different now. We can really get out there and be the best that we can be, the best quality of health that we can have.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
And it's a transition. So I always remind them that, in life, there's so many transitions.
Yeah.
Nobody said that you are just one person your whole life.
Right.
Yeah. So, there was this really beautiful poem I read one time, and they were talking about even the trees know, that they have to make a change.
Wow.
Right? So you have these beautiful green leaves, and they're alive, and that's gorgeous in and of itself. But what happens in the fall?
Yeah.
And then there's the orange, red, bright yellow. These things are gorgeous. The landscape's beautiful.
Yeah.
So even that tree, knowing that it's hanging up there, that leaf has changed, is not upset because they know it's part of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of look at it like you're just stepping into a new thing.
And the new season.
Yeah.
Yep.
A new strength. You just
new
strength. A new way of knowing, a new wisdom that you have to pass on.
Exactly.
That's good. You just talked about it with your careers, right?
Oh, yeah. There's so many different changes and transitions to go into. And, there's a power in the menopause, too.
Yes.
There's a lot you are able to leave behind.
Oh.
And you have a wisdom.
Wow.
And you realize really what's important. And you also know that after 54, 55, average age of women in the U.S. is 81 or so. Okay, maybe longer if you're lucky, but 81. So 55 years down, 60 years down, you got 33 more years to go. What are you going to do? You're not going to lament the whole time, about who you used to be and all of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what I think has a lot. It's a good time to reassess and say, what else do I want to get done?
There you go. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I joined this Facebook group for women in perimenopause and menopause.
I think you did say,
I left the group because it just became just too depressing for me. It's like nobody had solutions every day it was like a Debbie Downer. Every day it was like, this is the end of life, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, So at the time, I was kind of, I had started the working out. I had snapped out of that whole old mindset or whatever. And so I posted in there. And so there were 3 people that mentioned about the strength training. Because I told them,
It's big.
I said my exact workout. I told them what my daily routine consists of as far as nutrition and all that. I put that in there.
Yeah.
And there were like 3 people that were like, oh my gosh, finally somebody, but it was like,
It's a hallmark of
but
it.
me seeing that, it was like, wow, this is really, it looks bad, but it's not. I'm like, no, it's not really. And so I just had to like get out of the group. Like, yeah, you guys are bringing
Well,
me
if they
down.
were
at this
taking you
point.
down, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
it was. But the mindset. It was the mindset.
And their frame of reference, right?
Yeah.
What's their frame of reference at that time? And
Yeah.
you have to remember that it's not just perimenopause or menopause. People come in with other chronic mental health conditions that they're bringing along. And this can just make it all worse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so that's what their frame of reference is. It's not yours,
Yeah.
it's theirs.
Yeah.
That's true. So that cohort that you were in, maybe who knows what they brought in with them, and then the menopause hit too, or something like that. But you were smart to exit stage left.
Oh yeah, because I'm that's just me. Like I can't sit and even like I said when I was going through it, even though I thought I was depressed, I'm like, you about to snap out of it.
Right.
You're going to do whatever is needed to get whatever, because like you said, I couldn't put my finger on it. So I just said it was that,
Well, there's these neurotransmitters in the brain that basically help you feel good. All the dopamine, right, which, you get from eating the certain carbs above or whatever.
Yeah.
But the dopamine and you get from, orgasm, etc. But then there's the serotonin and all that stuff that estrogen actually from those brain receptors helps with those neurotransmitters.
Yeah.
So when you lose that, it explains why the mood comes, and then the hot flashes because there's these substances released that make you sensitive to heat, and that in the hypothalamus, there's a thermostat there that's controlled by estrogen. You lose that, you get this. It all is explainable, by the lack of something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering about the hot flashes. Like what is that inevitable? Like, how do you, there's no way around that?
Not everybody gets them.
Really?
Not everybody gets
Every
them.
now and then. Mine is a little different. I'm kind of sharing my business, but I did have ablation.
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Lynch did my ablation.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, and that's, you'll explain
My
it better.
situation, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't-
No, it's my situation. You did.
No, but it's like you didn't know because you weren't breathing. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
But I didn't understand. I didn't really know if I was in perimenopause because I wasn't having cycles anymore.
Right.
Okay.
But every now and then I would have what you call a hot flash. My hot flash would be at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Around 8 o'clock, but it wouldn't be every night. So I didn't know.
Yep. Same.
So if I didn't have a skilled doctor like Dr. Lynch and I'm doing there whining to her and she's like, okay, Angela, let's just do the test.
Yeah.
But she listened to me. You get what I'm saying? She
Yeah.
listened to what I was saying because I couldn't figure it out. And I've been in the medical field for a long time.
Yeah.
But you have to have someone skilled enough and willing to listen to you, what you're saying and understand, and willing to do those extra tests that may not always be paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hot flashes, they aren't in everybody, and they during the perimenopause, they're intermittent. Like you might have them for 2 weeks straight, and you might not have them.
And then
at
they'll
all.
go away.
And then they'll go
reappear.
away.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, and that can happen for with me, it happened almost 3.5 years, just off and on. Like, I forgot about it for 2 months, and then it's back. You know
then
that
it
kind
comes
of
back,
thing.
yeah,
So
like a
that
thief
can
in the night.
happen, but it's because of that control of that release of that neurokinin in your brain and that thermostat that's in the hypothalamus, and we're losing the control, So, but there are some new medications, which is super exciting. So let's say you didn't want to do the estrogen, you wanted to treat hot flashes only, you can go with these, there's neurokinin inhibitors, there's NK3 receptor intake. So there's Veoza, and there's another one there's 2 of those types that basically go to and directly to the cause of the hypothalamic thermostat problem. Go right there. Or, then there's some anti-anxiety antidepressants that breast cancer survivors use that take away hot flashes. Paxil, which is anti-anxiety med, takes away hot flashes. And then some herbal supplements, too, can help early on. So you don't have to suffer through them. And not everybody gets them, but they're more common in Black women.
Yeah.
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 And so that's interesting, too, because we also are at higher risk for cardiovascular disease and things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we have higher, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Higher menopausal symptoms as well, Black women, right?
Yeah,
They
in
hit
terms
all
of
of
hot
the
flashes
targets.
for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yes, we do.
For me, I mean, the hot flashes are, for me, they're tolerable. Like I've never felt like, I need to take something for it.
Oh, I have seen
Because
some
I'm just
women-
not the person that is going to automatically say, "Oh, I need to take something for this." Like for me, I'll find what lifestyle change
Sure.
could I do. So I kind of think in terms of that. So with the hop, it's not so bad, because it comes periodically. It's not like I hadn't had them for 3 months, and this week they came back. And it's usually at night.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of the night. I get hot, and then the sweats or whatever.
And then you sweat.
But during the day, I'm fine.
So see, you're fortunate because a lot of people could be like right now sitting talking.
That's what I've
and
heard
you
horror
could
stories.
See it.
Their face. You
can see it.
Horror stories.
Yeah, and they have beads of sweat break
Yes.
out. The whole back of them can be wet automatically.
Yeah.
And their hair and the whole back. Oh, I have one lady that it drips down her face. She wears those fan that comes around like
I've
this
had
to
friends.
fan her.
Wow.
So in those scenarios,
Yeah.
you can't even do a meeting at work. You have to do
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I haven't had it.
Yeah.
That's why I said mines are pretty tolerable. I
Yeah,
haven't
yours
had
sound
it,
pretty
but I've
mild.
heard horror stories like I haven't had them to where I'm just dripping all of a sudden, just dripping. Mine's, I just feel
You
like
just feel hot, right?
like it feel
Yeah.
like somebody just turned the oven on.
Yeah.
But not necessarily dripping and sweat. But at night, I do have the night sweats. Yeah.
And
But
it's
again, they come and
tolerable.
go. It I hadn't had them. Had been maybe 3 months, and then this week they came back.
They came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it depends too. Sometimes I notice that even now, and I'm well in the menopause, if I have an emotional upset or something, or if I have a glass of wine, I could have a hot flash even now, but quick, not like before. So, and
So it comes when you have emotional. If you
Sure. Like if
wonder if that's mine, 'cause-
if I'm walking around working a lot, and like even at home or whatever, and just get kind of emotionally upset, I have to take off my sweater and then I'll put it back on. Again,
Now
so
that
I
has
feel that I
happened.
get hot.
I've had that.
Yeah, it could be a trigger.
I didn't know that because I've had. Now that she mentioned that, I did this week. I did.
Yeah. Or anxiety. These episodes.
Anxiety especially.
For sure.
Yeah.
Really?
And you don't know which one it is, right? Because
Right.
anxiety brings that feeling of heat and
flash.
overwhelm and the the flash feeling, right?
Yes.
And the beaded sweat. So you don't know
Wow.
if it's a chicken or the egg. You're just going through it.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
But when people come in and they're unclear, we want to know what are all the symptoms. Keep track of the symptoms and then get a blood draw. And we're looking to see what's the reserve in the ovary from even making hormone. And it's a test, FSH. We look at estrogen level. A new test called AMH. We look at all these different tests, and maybe that's one snapshot in time. Then maybe 3 months later or 6 months follow up. Look at another test. Compare the two. See what the journey is. And then we can put a whole picture together, and then decide, what do you want to do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people nothing, some people more. But I always just try to educate people on the window of opportunity for health, for maintaining a certain lifestyle,
Yeah.
Luckily, we have osteoporosis or decreased density in Black women's bones in the 7th decade. So we're lucky in that.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry so much about that
During that
early
period.
on.
Yeah. So let's talk about what's that song that was it TLC or who had the song?
about
Let's
sex.
talk about sex,
Oh.
baby.
Let's talk about you and me.
So let's talk about that, the libido. Let's talk about how perimenopause and menopause affects that, and what is it that causes?
Oh, that reduction in libido?
Yeah, what causes that?
So
I just learned this about a month ago because there was some test that they did on me,
Okay.
and I didn't. Yeah.
Well,
But you
there's
go
a
ahead.
combo. It's a combination of things in that, like what you were expressing before about your body image change, how you feel about yourself now. Maybe have you gained the weight? Do you have an extra roll in the abdomen or something? Do you feel shy about yourself now? Is the hair thinning? Things like that. People come, and when they say they don't feel like themselves, then they don't feel like sharing themselves with other people. So that's a big thing, and that's the whole psychological piece.
Oh, okay.
But then, but medically, it's a reduction in the testosterone production from the ovary.
Okay.
So the ovary makes testosterone, the lion's share of it, but then the adrenal gland makes a little bit too. So in the early perimenopause, estrogens are starting to go down, and so then the testosterones kind of take over. I don't know if you noticed, but in early perimenopause, people really are kind of revved up. Yes, it's a little bit potentiated, and they don't think this isn't so bad. This won't be so bad. But then ultimately, testosterones will start to wane and drop down. So we do a lot of testosterone replacement, for people who want to see if that can help increase their desire. So we do that. We have an injection that we can give people where they just give themselves a quick little shot an hour or so before sex, and it enhances arousal because it goes to a receptor site in the brain, the melanocortin receptor site. It goes there, and it helps people to feel satisfied. It's the same family as those semaglutides and weight loss drugs. It helps you feel satisfied. So we give people that, and for some people that feel too much sensation, they don't like it, feel like they're kind of tingly everywhere. And for some people, it works, and then for some people, nothing. There's another medication that was studied for as an antidepressant, flibanserin. It was studied as an antidepressant, and it didn't really help people with depression, but they all became just so much more horny. They had increased libido like insane. So so now it's marketed as Addie. It's known as the little pink pill, and it is for desire.
Okay.
But the key, I think that, so I've had people that I have testosterone levels are so high, and they still aren't interested. So then you dive down into probably what she can speak more about in terms of relationship status, body image, motivations for sex. What's the motivation even?
Okay.
Is it to affirm your own attractiveness? Is it just to go to sleep? We have an orgasm, go to sleep. Is it for tension release? Is it for bonding with a relationship? What you have to examine people's motivation for sex and health of the partnership. But then the mind-body connection really is the thing that I like to work on with them in terms of like cultivating, recognizing the arousal that they might be having, and then accentuating it, cultivate the arousal to make more desire and make a never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
So because I can shoot you full of everything, but if your mind's not there, you're not gonna still want to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't have the right partner, and the partner's not giving you what you need,
I was going to
you're
ask you to
definitely
speak
not
to
gonna-
what she was just saying.
Yeah, because sometimes it's also your partner, right? It's what they're going through as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's more earnest is put on the actual woman, but it's the male as well.
Yeah.
So you have to it's like recreating that sexual passion that you had before, if you even had it before.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So what, it doesn't happen with every marriage.
You're
We got to be
right.
honest.
Some
Yeah.
people
Though.
don't
Yeah.
have it even on their own. They don't self pleasure. There's no
No.
solo sex even.
Yes.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
some people.
So we
yeah.
know that's important. And when we talk about, everybody doesn't like to talk about these things, but
Yeah.
Hope and Wellness Partnership, we talk about self-pleasure, what makes you happy, what makes you feel good. If you don't know your own body and you're ashamed of your own body, even before this happens, what's going to happen after when your
Yeah.
body changes?
Yeah.
So you have to have these conversations with your husband. This is what's going on. This is what's going on with me. What's going on with you?
Yeah.
This is what's happening. These are some of the changes that we can make. I had no idea about that shot.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
it's a real
what?
good-
They
yeah.
always talk about the men, what they can,
Right,
The
yeah,
little blue
yeah,
pill
but
and
they
the
don't-
gray
yeah,
pill and the
yeah.
yellow pill they got. But look what they have for women.
But this is a revolution. I mean,
Yeah.
I just love this, what's happening right now,
Yes.
that we have so much. Because in 88 or 90, whenever it was, when I started practicing, I mean, we had nothing. And then they came out with the Viagra, and the older women were coming in complaining that the men were had Viagra and they couldn't keep up with them,
Yes.
etc. So the other thing that I like to address is it painful? That's the other thing. Have you had a hip surgery? Is it painful? We're talking before. Do you have a colostomy? Are you wearing a stoma bag? Are there other things that are making you feel less attractive, or just physically we can't do it? And we have to figure that out. I mean, they have these trampolines that you can actually help people who have had soldier surgery so they can press themselves up and down and perform the motions that they need to.
Yeah.
There's so much that can help, you know?
Yeah.
Let's change those positions, folks.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be done the same way all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're able to move, that's why you have to keep up the strength training, the yoga. I love heated yoga. That's why I say
I know you told
the heated yoga, just to keep your bones and your muscles limber. That's what you got to do.
No, it's very true. And people who are physically fit have more libido. That is also known.
Yes.
Higher sex drives.
So that leads to my next question. Like, how can how can so if a woman is going through menopause, how can her partner or those closest to her support her in that? Like, what can they? Because they don't understand. And I'm gonna full transparency. I had to like spell it out. I had to tell my husband, like, you know what? I just realized the mood swings because he's the target when
the closest person
the
to
closest
you.
person to you, right? My mood swings. So now I'll catch it, like I'll feel it. And so what I go in my room and I'm like, I'm not going to bother anybody. I'm not going anywhere today because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to, because with the mood swings, you don't know where it's going to go.
Right.
And so I try my best to like, okay, so once I realize it's happening or about the mood is about to swing, I'll tell him, this is like, I'm really not trying to be mean, but I'm just, and I'll say, remember I told you about this. So when I realized that I was in perimenopause, I told him that. I explained it because I barely knew. So how would they know? But so that's my question. How can, I guess to you, well, either of you, how can
take them to the doctor with you if you have an open doctor. No, seriously.
So they get a better understanding.
It is helpful.
Yeah, they listen more to the physician than they will. Well, I have to speak to my husband.
Yeah.
They don't listen. You could say it in a way maybe they're not understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, she's just irritable. She's just being, a pest or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you speak to a physician, they really hear it.
They'll
they
hear
understand
it.
it. Right?
It is helpful.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have a lot of couples, but some people.
I was going to say, do you get people that bring their...
I do. I do. I mean, it's not the lion's share of people, but a lot of people will bring their husbands in specifically for the sex talk to explain what happened to the desire and maybe now why it's painful. I mean, and then if they stop for a while and they're not doing any intravaginal moisturizers or estrogen or anything, then we get constriction, and it becomes too painful and not possible. So in terms of explaining what's going on, the mood, how we can help, and how they can be supportive too. And I also remind the people too that don't abuse your partner either, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going through something and it's tough, and we want them to understand. On the other hand, do some box breathing, and try to bring yourself
and don't
down.
just use that as the excuse. A lot of when we will do that, like, well, it's that time of the month, or
something like that, right?
And I had to check myself on it. Like I said, that's why now I'm like, okay, pull it back. Like, I literally feel the mood about to swing. Before I didn't. Like, it just swings.
Yeah.
And it swings that way, right?
Yeah.
But now I feel like off. And I'm like, okay, here, I know this is
you just have to talk to yourself slowly.
That's what I
down.
do. I talk myself. And then I'll tell them like, hey, I'm in this mood right now. So if I seem snappy, I'm not. This is just, I'm having these hot flashes. Like, I even tell them when the hot flashes, like, at night, I'm like, okay, I'm having hot flashes. And so a lot of times with the hot flashes, I can't sleep.
Right. Well,
and so I'll get up, I turn the TV back on. This happened last night. I was up until probably 2 a.m.
Oh.
I was sleepy, right? Initially, getting ready to doze off. The hot flash comes. And then I'm up.
There's some things that are helpful for sleep. I mean, if you want to go like a non-hormonal route, you could do some things that are.
What helps?
Magnesium's good for sleep.
Magnesium is good for both the anxiety and the depression as well.
Well, you know what helps me sleep? Hot lemon water with a teaspoon of honey.
Oh,
good. This is easy.
Literally, I'm within minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
But if you're being awakened by a hot flash or something, though, if it's waking you up, then you want something sort of that's going to help you with that. you wouldn't do it episodically either, but you know,
Yeah,
if you did
she's-
something, all the time, it would help you
Magnesium
with
is big
that.
for me.
Magnesium
It helps.
I absolutely
Even
love.
they have the, I think it's oil or cream I put on the bottom of my foot. And it helps
they
me go
do.
to sleep.
Oh,
yeah, and I
wow.
use lavender. It's just
Yeah, I
some
heard
basic
lavender.
things you
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
a hot shower. I know it seems
Oh
weird.
no, that's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
very
the
Oh, no, the hot shower.
it
Yeah,
turns
yeah,
up-
yeah.
yeah.
Sleep hygiene, they call it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love sleep
I
hygiene.
love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you can lay yourself down, your legs on the wall, and that yoga pose.
Oh, Dr. Lynch, I
Yeah,
love
because
her.
you know what it'll do?
Yeah.
It stimulates that vagus nerve, and that's the nerve in your whole body that's slowing everything down.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Versus epinephrine, we got vagus nerve going, and that yoga pose for 10 minutes before bed will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tea is helpful too.
So how can women advocate for themselves in this situation? So we know that, especially women of color, a lot of times they're dismissed. Like I know someone, she's in, I think it's stage 4 breast cancer. I interviewed her before, and we become really good friends. And she was misdiagnosed a few times. And I remember going to her event, and there were, I think, 3 ladies, young, like 20-something, same thing, misdiagnosed. And because they were younger, they didn't know how to advocate for themselves. It kind of took her to kind of help them, like, hey, no. But because she had already been through, she had already, so it was like her kind of walking and then kind of just telling them, if you notice this, kind of educating them, like,
Yeah.
I guess being more aware of your body or whatever. So
Yeah.
how what advice would you give to women when it comes to perimenopause?
It's helpful if they do come in with a symptom diary. I mean, it's helpful if, like, especially things like, overactive bladder. If you just keep a symptom diary, how often you going to the bathroom? Do you ever lose it on yourself? This, that, and the other. Or how often are you having hot flashes? So when they come in with data is helpful, especially if you're seeing somebody who's, maybe the visits are stacked at 15, 30 minutes apart, something like that, then it helps them really get right to it. When you come in and you're kind of, go through the whole GYN visit, PAP and everything, and then at the very end, oh, by the way, something like that, then it doesn't leave the person much time to really get into it. So I think from the start, if you
Once
have
you
a
notice
portal,
a change,
yeah,
start
keep a symptom
documenting.
diary, even if you just keep it for like a month. So somebody will say, oh, this is what she's been going through. It's so helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started doing it with my period.
Yes.
I started because when I noticed it was kind of, I think 1 month I had it twice, whatever. And so I'm like, okay, wait, did this really happen? Because I couldn't
Yeah.
remember, right? I'm like, okay, I need to start writing it
You
down so
get
I
the
have a
most
calendar.
out of your visits if you do that.
Yeah,
You really
yeah,
will.
yeah.
Can I add? Don't be embarrassed to
Yeah,
share too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And don't take no for an answer. So sometimes,
That's
like
it.
Dr. Lynch said, you only have 15 minutes. Sometimes you only have 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No,
And that means they have to do the exam as well and ask that check sheet that
Check
they have,
sheet.
right?
Little checklist, yeah.
So if you don't have your information together, I mean, it's not always the doctor's issue because you're not giving them all the information
Right.
in a timely manner. And it's really your responsibility to take care of your health. So you have to have that documentation in check.
Yeah.
Have it with you. Go through the list really quickly.
Yeah.
Have some family history as well. Do not be embarrassed. And don't say no. If they say, oh, that doesn't matter. No,
Well,
it
but
does.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm
That's all
concerned.
you have to say. I'm
Yeah,
still
that's good.
concerned.
Yeah.
And if they tell you no, then go find another doctor.
Yeah.
When you
okay.
say you're still concerned and
Yes.
somebody doesn't keep looking for you, then you probably do need to change.
You need to change. Yeah.
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 Unless you guys have turned over every rock,
Right. And that's the thing, making sure you
Yeah.
turned over making sure they've turned over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because again, you see, like you said, don't take no. A lot of women will just like, oh, well, they said it may be this. Because you will get doctors to say, oh, well, maybe that's this. They said that may be this. And then you go back and you're still having
Right.
this. Like I said, the group that I was in, there were a lot of women that were saying that.
But a lot of people, a lot of women in general, they don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Our brain is trying to protect us.
Yeah.
So we'll take the no sometimes so we don't have to hear that bad news. Well, the doctor said. And then when it comes back, it takes the earnest off of us.
I like that. That's a
Yes.
good point.
Yes.
The-
It's
the
our
Very
brain is
good point.
protecting us.
Self-protective brain.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, and then you can always get a second and third opinion too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the other thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what is the one thing that you want our listeners to take away from this episode?
I would say the big picture is that menopause is a necessary transition.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna
so
happen.
let's just paradigm shift about it. We're not afraid. There's so much that can help. And no matter which route you want to take, there's so much that can help if you just go in and talk to somebody, find out what are the overarching symptoms that bother you the most, and then let them work on that. The new you is coming. It could be a better you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the same person. And so don't look back. This is what I always tell myself every day. Don't
like
look
that.
back.
Yeah.
You're not going that way. We're going forward.
You're going
okay,
forward.
so
I like that.
That's what I would say.
Wow.
That's
I love that. And
Yeah.
I love how you say, look at it as this is the new you. You're
Yes,
becoming.
you're
You know what I mean?
becoming.
You're becoming. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. What so Dr. Angela, what would you say?
I agree with all that she said.
Yeah.
But I'll just add, just make sure you know these symptoms that are coming your way. And if you don't know if it's the chicken or the egg, just use all your resources. Go to the doctor when you need to. Make sure to have your annual pap smears. I say it's annual every year.
Yeah, well, yeah. But they changed it now, but I mean,
Yeah,
you
I got a
mine
certain
every year.
age.
but you still need to check the ovaries and stuff, even
Yes.
if you don't get a
Even
pap.
if you don't have a uterus, what do you need to check? If you don't have a
ovaries, if you have
yeah,
ovaries.
okay.
Or vulva.
Or your vulva. Okay.
Yeah.
So make sure just because you don't have a uterus, don't tell yourself you don't need to go get checked. You need to do your breast exam. You could do that at home. Take care of your health.
Yeah.
Your health is your health. It's not the doctor's health. It's not the OBGYN's health.
Yeah.
It's not anybody. It's yours.
Yeah.
So take control of your health. You have the power to do so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you only get one body.
And
You only get
new-
one body.
And
I
welcome to the new
love that.
beginnings.
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
I love your outlook. I love that. Like you're becoming a new, and I'm gonna tell you, like I do, like feel the change. Like not, it's not like I said. Everybody made it sound so horrible. Like this is the worst change ever.
Yeah.
My experience so far is like I'm changing for the better.
You
know
feel
what I
that
mean?
power.
It
You
really
feel that
is.
power.
I
Yes.
really
The
feel it.
powerful.
Powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I've done it. Look at
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've hit all the measures. Look at me.
Yeah, especially like I said with when I started doing when she had me doing the strength
Your strength
training, and I
training,
noticed the
yeah.
difference, and I'm like, I literally in my mind felt like I really just knocked it out. Like I'm really literally fighting
Yeah.
against it. I
good for
really
you.
and I'm like, oh my gosh, who
Yeah.
knew? But I'm glad you confirmed that about
It's
the
huge,
strength training
though.
because
It's like
that
a big thing.
yeah,
Especially now with the GLP-1s and everybody trying to
Everybody's-
lose their menopausal weight gain, etc., and losing weight so fast with Ozempic and all these ones. If they don't build muscle, skin
No
will
muscle.
just be
Had that
It's just there.
protein.
exactly
And that protein.
and the
That heart.
protein.
it's so important.
So it's big.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I add one thing that you mentioned about testosterone with women? Sometimes women have higher testosterone, and it may be the reverse, a little bit more abuse against the men wanting to have sex more normally, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I have partners coming in, maybe the male has had some medical issues, and the woman is like, hey, it's time to get it. Hey,
Okay.
and that's the issue there,
She's
right?
really upset.
She's
because-
really,
Yeah.
so you get the reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
Jordan's
talks
there.
about that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
I don't know how much.
Male abuse.
Male,
Isn't
male
that
abuse,
something?
yeah.
Yeah.
Men can get abused, yeah.
Wow.
Emotionally and physically.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So be aware of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys share some good stuff. Like this is, and again, and I don't know if me you talked about, but like it wasn't talked about back in the day,
Oh,
so we
nothing.
don't know. You
Oh,
don't.
no.
You don't
No.
know, and so now I finally, and it's still not talked about enough.
But luckily now, there's such a great awareness. We had 2 weeks ago, or on a Tuesday, a black box warning was taken away of estrogen use by the FDA. It's been since that 2002 that they had a black box warning. That estrogen hormone can cause cardiovascular disease. But on Tuesday, 2 weeks ago, they took it away, and we were celebrating like crazy all over the
Yeah.
place because it stopped a lot of people from being open to it.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that it takes a few celebrities to start talking about something
That's what
important.
that's what happened.
That's
it,
what
it
happened.
took them, to talk about it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And it's like
Yeah.
finally somebody is like talking
Yes.
They're
about
listening and
this
hearing.
and listening and hearing. Yeah, and so
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to make sure I have an episode because, like I said, because I was going through it, and then, like I said, when I joined that group, I'm seeing all these women. They have no answers. Everybody's just like, "Oh, you should." Somebody would post, and you know, and when COVID hit, everybody thought they were a doctor. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Everybody thought they were a doctor. So you have all these people who are not doctors telling them what to do, and then they'll go back on the next week. Well, I tried this and that didn't work. It's like, because that wasn't.
Yeah.
Go to the doctor.
I can see how that would be a not good echo chamber.
Oh,
that.
when I tell you,
I mean-
it was literally, and I'm like, I gotta go. I
Yeah.
can't do this. I can't. I'm just gonna do the work that I do what I'm doing, and hey, and but again, that's why I wanted to have this episode, and I had shared with because we had an episode on something else, but we kind of led into that somehow, and I'm like, I really want to do an episode
Right.
on
Next
that.
thing you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And boom, here you
Well,
are.
I appreciate you. I think it's very important what you're doing.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
yeah,
you.
and getting the word out,
Yeah, for
especially
sure.
to us. And,
Yeah.
You know how much can be done to prevent long-term illness
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to grow old that way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I like that.
You
Yeah.
can have a good quality of life, and that's a good
quality of
sex
life.
life as well.
Yeah.
Sex doesn't stop at 45,
Right,
50,
right.
60.
60.
What's your oldest?
My oldest one is
80.
right now sexually active. She's 81.
Come on, 81. What? Look at you. Everybody's face like, oh my God.
She's 81.
81.
She's
81.
81. And she is something else.
She's
too.
vibrant.
I
huh?
know she is.
I love it. But
bet
she's not
she
the
is.
only one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I have a patient who met somebody in the bereavement group.
Come on.
Where she went for, he lost a wife and she lost her, she was 74.
Wow,
But he
wow.
was 67.
Yeah.
Cougar.
Wow.
So there she went. It was great.
But sex is part of health, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
so
we had
mean.
to prepare some stuff, but
Yeah,
we
you-
got her,
Yeah,
we got her
yeah.
prepared, and she did great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want to talk about it. It's like, take the shame away and let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And so you can live. You say you want to live your best life. You want to be your
Yes,
best
and that's
self.
part of it.
Okay,
Yes.
let's do that. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So
If you want it.
yeah. So that's why I wanted to actually just bring this conversation to our platform. So I thank you both so much
You're welcome. Thank
for
you.
coming on the show. And again, Dr. Lynch, if you want to give anyone your information, how they can reach you if they have any questions.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
Or become one of your patients, however
Yeah.
you want to.
I
This
should
is
speak
your
to-
camera.
Oh, camera. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So you can email at modernwomenscaremd.com. And you can follow me on Instagram, too. I have an Instagram.
Oh, wow. I got to
Yeah,
find
she
you.
does.
Yeah. Cristal Lynch 6.
I found her.
This is new. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
she found me on Instagram.
Yep.
So
And
that's
Dr. Angela.
The same. You can follow me on Instagram, Angie at the Hope and Wellness Partnership. Angie at the Hope and Wellness Partnership, all one word.
Well, again, I want to thank you, beautiful ladies, for coming to sit on the couch and have this much needed, purposeful conversation. And I want to thank you to all of our viewers for tuning in. As usual, my hope is that someone has been informed, empowered, and transformed. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Women Can Do Show. Be sure to subscribe to our I Can Do Biz channel. YouTube channel. That button is right there. That subscribe button is there. Go ahead and subscribe for this and many more upcoming episodes.